My best friend asks me, "Did you hear about your brother?" I replied, "My brother's dead." Kyla froze in her seat, hands trembling as she pressed them to her gaping mouth. Tears filled her eyes and she sniffed. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. I stared at her, surprised at the emotion on her face. "He's been dead for 10 years, since I was 8 years old. She was at his funeral with me. We buried an empty casket because no one could find his body in the fire that burned our house down." I didn't understand why she brought him up. "What are you talking about?" I asked slowly. She shook her head frantically. "Nothing. I misspoke, that's all." My eyes narrowed at my best friend as emotion filled me. "Tell me," I insisted. "Ask your parents," she answered. "I have to go." Her tears began falling as she gathered her purse and rushed out of the fast food joint where we were meeting, leaving me with a bill. I paid for the food and headed home, my thoughts racing a million miles an hour. I had no idea what she was talking about, and it scared me. He was my twin brother, and I loved him dearly. It broke me when he died. I had lost my best friend. Kyla was there to pick up the pieces after my parents grew cold and distant. I arrived home and found my parents in the kitchen. Mom was humming and baking cookies while Dad sat at the kitchen table reading on his tablet. They both ignored me until I cleared my throat loudly. Mom turned to face me, forcing a bright smile on her face. It looked so unnatural that I nearly snorted. I glanced between them. "What happened to my brother?" I asked quietly, watching them closely. I noticed that Mom instantly paled and Dad's expression closed off, becoming colder. Mom turned her back on me, returning to her task at the stove. Dad just stared at me, eyes going blank as he got lost in thought. Something was very wrong here, and I needed to know what it was. "Kyla mentioned something at lunch today," I continued. "Tell me the truth. Is he really dead?" Mom laughed without turning to face me. "Of course he is, honey," she said, but the tone of her voice was off, almost robotic. I glanced at Dad, noticing how he ducked his head, avoiding eye contact with me. This was starting to piss me off. They were obviously lying to me and I didn't understand it. I slammed